If we're all ready, Dwayne, you want to kick us off?
Yes, Dereck, what was your biggest takeaway from today? It's being involved with the kids. You know, the kids smiling, they're laughing. Even if their kids crying, you got to be able to just help them. You know, make sure that they're feeling supported, make sure they're comfortable, make sure they're having a fun day.
What were some of the things that you taught them, and were they very receptive?
Kind of receptive, but you know, they were just going out there, just competing. You know, no matter if you're a girl or boy, go out there, have fun, go out there, compete, and just try to be a sponge. Try to learn as much as you can. No matter if it's coaches, me, or parents out there telling you things. Try to be a sponge.
How much fun did you have today?
A lot of fun. I was out there smiling, laughing a whole lot. I'm just happy. I remember being in these kids' positions. I might have been a little taller, but I could barely walk and chew gum. So just seeing them out there, just trying to dribble the ball, trying to do different drills, it's just flash in the past.
Why was it important to team up with the Mavs Academy to do this?
Oh, it was definitely important to team up with the Mavs Academy because the Mavs Academy is what Dallas is. You know, a lot of people in Dallas, a lot of kids in Dallas look up to NBA players, NFL players, or professional athletes, and we just got to show them how much of a person we are. You know, we're not superheroes, we're people. You can come up and give us a hug, we're gonna hug you back. So it's definitely been a great position to be able to be out here with all these kids. You know, some of them are 7 years old, some of them are 13, 14. So just trying to make an impact as much as I can.
Why was it important for you to give back in this way?
It's so important because, you know, no matter if it's this camp here or the camp back in I'm having in Philly in 2 weeks, I'm just trying to make an impact on whatever kid, no matter if it's about stuff on the court or off the court.
You also had some special guests here from the Boys and Girls Club from Collin County. Why was it important to include the Boys and Girls Club?
Trying to include as many people and try to reach out to as many people as we can. You know, trying to get in touch to people who've never been to a game, who can only watch us on TV, just to see how easy it is to be here. You know, I don't want any of them thinking that their dream is too big. I'd rather them dream bigger rather than dream smaller.
Is there a big takeaway that you want these kids to, ultimately go home with today?
I want them to go home, listen to their parents. I want them to go home, stay out of trouble, stay in school. And I just want them to just go out there and just be a better character. You know, we talked about that a lot today. No matter where I am or who I'm talking to, I'm gonna try to make sure I make an impact and try to change their viewpoint on one or two things.
What are some of the lessons from these camps from you growing up that you take with you today as an NBA player?
No matter if it's me learning how to dribble into my legs at a camp or just going out and making friends. You know, it's just, you're gonna meet a lot of people you never expected to meet from various of ages. So I'm just glad that I can put people who are 8 years old and 14 years old and tell them to cooperate and be on the same team. So it's just telling them, helping them learn skills, and just learn how to communicate.
How days like this helped you throughout your off season as you've gone through your off season getting ready for next year?
It just shows the impact and just the influence that the Mavs, me, or anybody in this position can have. You know, these kids are going out here and bringing up games from a Tuesday night or a Thursday night, and usually for us, it's just another game. But for them, it's the biggest game in the world. So just taking that time to just step back and realize how much of an impact we can make is really a big deal.
You mentioned the friendship that will be made here. What advice would you give the kiddos about having the right group of friends to achieve their goals?
Always tell them to be as friendly as possible, always have a smile on your face, and stay out of trouble. You know, I feel like a lot of people out there there's a lot of followers instead of leaders. So I'm just trying to teach as many kids out here to be a leader instead of following.
And I know you mentioned the impact that you're making on these kiddos' lives. I know for me personally, I still have my shirt from when I went to camp overseas, and that shirt that they're wearing is something that they're going to hold forever. What does that mean for you?
I'm just happy that they can take something back with them. No matter if it's a jersey, no matter if it's a towel, I'm just happy that they can take something back to just treasure this moment and remember it forever.
Dereck, it seems like this team overall is very community focused. What does it do for the team with that kind of mindset, with a bunch of players like that?
It really just shows on how much support you have when you go out on the court. I mean, when you look out in the fans, when you're looking at the crowd, you never realize how many people are really out there until you go to Walmart, until you go to Target or any other grocery store, and realize how much of an impact people are really feeling from you. You know, there's the people who come up to me whenever I'm walking my dogs and just say how much that I've impacted their son. So I'm just trying to make the best of my time, make the best of my ability, and just make an impact in my community.
Yeah, going back to the offseason a little bit, we know a lot has happened. You guys got the number one pick. Cooper's now part of the team. Just what was your reaction when you found out that you guys were getting the number one pick?
I was insane. You know, it was an insane moment. We're grateful for it. And, we welcomed in Coop with open arms. You know, I called him earlier today, and he's always having a smile on his face, always cracking a joke. So I'm making sure that he's feeling as comfortable as possible, giving him any little detail or any little, thing to give him by, because whenever I was in his position, I remember how frightened I was, and I was only 19 and he's 18.
You guys obviously share the Duke connection. I mean, how long have you known him? I mean, how far does that back to that relationship?
I've probably known him for a couple of years now, at least 2-3 years. And he's just been the same, just smiling, cracking joke kid as I've always known. I'm glad that he's been able to still be a person, and not having too much of the spotlight just rain on him. So no matter if he's in the gym, no matter if he's come by the house, he's always just had a smile on his face, and he's always just being Cooper.
Awesome. Thank